YouTube? Welcome back to the Faith-Based Workplace YouTube channel. We're here again with another video. This one is going to be dealing with verbally abusive supervisors. I mean, we all, have had those supervisors where they, they curse a little bit, scream a lot, holler a lot. They do things that we probably don't like, to try to get the job done. You know what? That's not necessary. You think about it, because the way they handle people might not be the way those people want to be handled. So let's get right into it. What is verbal abuse? Negative words or phrases that place you in a negative place. So when I think of that, it's like, mind, it places your mind in a negative place and you're feeling down, morale low, maybe kind of sad, things like that. We don't want that, because those things can lead to depression, anxiety, worst case, suicide. It's not things we want to deal with. So we want to make sure that, when those supervisors are doing that, we are people that, call them out about those things and tell them, that's not the right way to do it. That's when these companies need to provide training and say, hey, that's not the way you're supposed to do that, Solomon. You can't be hollering at the people. We go, send you to training for a couple of days or a week. And some companies are offering, this little trainings where they, interaction with your employees, how you're supposed to be as a leader to be effective. Moving right along. Verbal abuse shouldn't be tolerated in the workplace in the first place. So let's make sure we're not letting that even slide by any means. Once you see it, call it out, figure out what the problem is, deal with it, prevent it, and move on. Move right along. Try asking them, if you're the employee and the supervisor is hollering at you or screaming at you or cursing at you, whatever the form of verbal abuse is, try asking them, what's going on with them, what's something going on at home, maybe hit them with a line like, I never see you act like that. What's going on now to make you act this way? And hopefully, if y'all got that relationship, they'll be willing to tell you and say, hey, my wife just left me, or they're dealing with medical bills with their kids, or the kids being bad at school. Whatever. It could be a million things, what's going on. But once you get that understanding, you figure out that's what it is, then you're like, wow, okay. So now you know how to handle them, because we're all humans. We're all dealing with different things, and it's easy to say, check your stuff at the gate. That's what we used to say, construction site or different places. They'll say check that at the gate. You're still human, so you're dealing with something that's real. You're going through a divorce or something like that. That's going to be emotional for you. And I'm not taking up for the supervisor. That's not what I'm doing. But what I'm saying is, that'll be those times when you can, if you never seen them act like this, you can call them, pull them to the side, and figure out what's going on. And they'll, hopefully they'll tell you, maybe they're not ready to tell you yet. But that's when you go ahead and tell them, hey, you're hollering, you're cursing a little bit, just chill out with that, before you cause other issues. One thing I can tell you for sure, and it's free to do, pray for these people. Pray for them, what is, if they another believer, maybe y'all pray together. If not, hey, pray for them when you're back at your desk, maybe when you're on break, sitting in your car, you're in the lunchroom or at home at night, pray for them. Because, they always say pray for leaders, but, usually like me, I'm thinking leaders, I'm thinking presidents and people that's leaders of these big companies. Well, a leader is a supervisor or a manager or things like that. It's still leaders because they leading people. It might be a smaller group of people, but still leaders. So let's make sure we're praying for those people too. Remember, it's free. It takes a little bit of time. You mention their name, whatever's going on, they're being verbally abusive. Go ahead and pray for them. Other words for verbal abuse that you might have heard of, some of you might have heard of, some not. Insults, slander, reprimand, scolding, railing, and I learned a new word, upbraiding. It's another word for verbal abuse. That's all things that people do, and it's just not right at the end of the day. So dealing with these things, we have to come up with an action plan. How we gonna deal with this person? If they doing it all the time, okay, we need to come up with a way of how we gonna do this. Let's get into the first Bible verse, Ephesians 4:29. Let no corrupt communication proceed out of your mouth, but that which is good to the use of edifying, that it minister grace unto the hearers. So what I get out of it, don't let someone negative words define who you are, and don't let it affect you. Call this out, call these people out, don't drop down to their level. That's not what I'm saying. Don't do that. Don't both of y'all be in there screaming and hollering and cursing each other. No, that's not what I'm saying. What happens is when they doing something corrupt, corrupt communication, pull them to the side. Hey, Solomon, look, I don't know if you're having a bad day. I just want to talk to you right quick and just let you know what you said to me with the cursing and all the curse words, the F bombs and this all these other words you're using. I don't tolerate that, and it's just not in part of my spirit. Just let them know, that's just not part of the things that you do. And remember, you always can go one step further. You want to try the easiest approach first, talking to them, then you might have to step your game up and, do other things. We'll get into that a little bit later. Be straight up with them. Tell them, that talk that they're doing, it not only affects you, the workers are talking about it. Because think about when it's just you, it's like, okay, it's just me. But when it's a group of y'all and 3, 4, 5 people start talking, like, man, why Solomon was cursing and stuff like that? We need to do something. Then, someone's going to get fired or get in trouble, get written up, however the case goes, But, that's when somebody should step up and say, hey, let me talk to this person. And that might be all it takes. Think about it. If all you had to do was just communicate with this person and say, hey, I don't appreciate you talking to me like that, and that fixes it, I think it's pretty easy when you think about it. I mean, that's very easy actually, but sometimes people just don't think. They think it's hard. Like I can't deal with them, but you never try talking to them. So one way to deal with them is to actually communicate with them, talk to them, let them know what's going on. Just try it. Give it a try. Try talking to them. Establish boundaries with your supervisor. So control the narrative and be positive, in everything you do at work. So when I say establish boundaries, just getting back to letting them know you don't tolerate things like that. That's a boundary. That is a boundary. Let them know when they come at you, you don't like touchy-feely or whatever. Okay, I don't like people touching me. That is a boundary. It's a boundary. What's another good one that we can say as a boundary? You don't like the nasty jokes that they say, or whatever, I say nasty about anything. That's another boundary that you're setting. Things that you don't want to hear or see, the little pictures or whatever, or don't show me stuff on your phone, little stuff. No, I don't want to see none of that stuff. When they hollering at you, say, look, let's talk like men, or let's talk like adults. If there's another woman you're dealing with, that's another boundary. You don't need to be hollering. That's all boundaries. So that's ways of dealing with the supervisor, to let them know, okay, when I'm talking to Solomon, he don't necessarily like when I holler at him or when I curse. They're gonna already know. And then hopefully other people tell them the same thing, so they know it's not you. It's usually them. It usually is something they dealing with. So hopefully you can help them along the way and figure out a way to say, hey, you know what? It's a better way of doing this. It really is. So I want to read this passage from this book. Man, I'm telling y'all, you want to get a good book. And I promote a lot of books. A few books, well, more than a few, but this is a good book. It's by John Eckhart, Deliverance and Spiritual Warfare Manual. Very good book. I'm going to read a passage from this right quick. Okay, it's called Shake Yourself Free from Mental Attacks. The verse they have in here is Proverbs 23:7. For as he thinks in his heart, so is he. So, whatever is in a person's heart, what I get out of that, whatever's in a person's heart, whether it's good, bad, or ugly, it's kind of what they're going to spew out. So if it's something good, they're going to do good things. If it's something evil, they're probably going to do evil things. They think of evil thoughts. So they thinking about, listening to the rap music and cursing and this, that, and other. I'm not talking about rap music like it's all bad or whatever. They got good rap music. They got good Christian rap music and stuff like that. But when I'm saying that, what's in their heart, usually what comes into their mind comes out of their mouth. So just think about that. So you are the way you think. The mind has always been a favorite target of the enemy. If the devil can control your mind, he can control your life. I'm going to drop down. Mind control is a common spirit that has been identified by the name octopus. Mind controlled spirits can resemble an octopus or squid with tentacles that grabs and control the mind. Deliverance from mind control releases a person from mental pressure, mental pain, confusion, and mental torment. So we got to learn how to release those spirits. So if you had this person doing this verbal abuse and talking to you crazy all the time, that's a form of mind control. You think about it. So they hollering at you, cursing at you, and they taking you out because you're not used to that. You're not, well, I ain't gonna say you're not used to that. You're not used to dealing with that. And that's not how you accept things usually. Don't accept it this time either. I don't care what place of work it is. I know we're going with a pandemic, but still be you at work. You know, just let them know, hey, this is not tolerated. I'm not tolerating this. Yes. So again, matter of fact, I'm gonna link this book down in the description. So for y'all that want to pick it up and get off, Amazon or some Books a Million or whatever, all these different bookstores and stuff like Barnes Nobles and everything. You can get it off of there. I don't think it's too high. I think it's like maybe like 15, 20 bucks at the most. But yeah, it's a very good book on deliverance and dealing with these different spirits. A lot of these spirits are not even talked about in church. I'm learning a lot of this stuff in here. I'm not bashing the church. I'm just saying a lot of these things are not talked about. But let's get back to what we're talking about. Verbal abuse supervisor. So when you're dealing with mind control, you're dealing with verbal abuse, you're dealing with somebody that's doing these things, after you did your first step of trying to talk to them, and they do it again, it depends on you. I'm not telling you to give them another chance because some people don't deserve 2, 3 chances. However you want to handle it, you can either talk to them again, or you can go down another route. You can go to human resources. You can go to, some of your other resources you have at work. You can, hey, if it's really verbal abuse where they didn't touch you or try to do physical harm, where it goes into that route at work, then that's when we want to dial 911, and we want to get down to the nitty gritty and be like, okay, I got to take this a step further because you pretty much acting crazy, So we got to do different things. I don't know if you ever had a verbal abuse supervisor or dealt with one, but the ones I've had, when they cursing or screaming, whether it's military or just a regular place of work, it's good to talk to some of these people. It really is. And sometimes I think communication is key, to be honest with you. It can be key to preventing it from escalating and going way further than what it needs to be. And if you just take that one time to just say, let me talk to this person, that might eliminate a lot of other stuff that come behind it. Because if you go to work every day for 3 months, and every day, Monday through Friday, this person is cursing you out, the person is belittling you, they assaulting you, they slandering you, talking about you at work behind your back, and making you the center of the jokes that they tell. All this stuff is all verbal abuse and emotional abuse and all rolled into one. So if you're letting that person get away with it 2, 3, 4 months, at some point it's going to wear on you, and you're going to reach a breaking point at some point. Now, some people, they can deal with it. They cool with it. They don't have a problem with it. I'm not talking about you. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the people that can't deal with that and need an outlet or need somebody to step up, or they need to step up for themselves. In most cases, you might have to step up for yourself. In some cases, like let's say if it's a supervisor is the man and then he's screaming at a woman, usually another man will step up and say, hey, man, bro, this not cool. She's had enough. Things like that. But when it's 2 men, most people usually look around. To me, that's still not right. It should still be, because if you're going to do it for a woman, to me, she should still do it for a man, because I know what you're thinking. Well, it's a man, he can handle his own. And yes, he should. But if that man was raised in a household where, let's say, he don't, let's say a good upbringing, never have anything really crazy or negative or cursing or anything to do with, he might not know how to deal with that. He's never been in a fight before. There's a lot of people that never been in a fight before, or never had to fuss with somebody else or curse somebody out. So they don't know how to really deal with that. Might be their first job. I'm not making excuses for them. I'm just telling you. So it might be another man. So still, stand in the gap, and still, you should still say something. Now, you don't have to do it when you're hollering at the person. Maybe, as soon as he finished, you go ahead and talk to the supervisor. Hey, man, you mind if I talk to you for a second? Like, yeah, what you got, man? Let's go ahead. Let's go outside and talk. And you can sit there and tell them, man, look, what you doing, man? Everybody watching you. Let them know, man, look, everybody watching you. People starting to talk about you, with all the cursing and the hollering, the way you treating such and such. You might want to chill out on that. Let them know. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you might can prevent a lot of things from taking place. Just think about that. Yeah. So, I mean, hey, and the thing with the verbal abusive supervisor, it happens a lot especially at certain jobs where it's a lot of men that happen in the oil field. It happens a lot. I'm trying to think. Construction happens a lot for sure. I'm pretty sure y'all can think of other industries that this happens. And I'm pretty sure in nursing, I'm pretty sure it happens. I don't know. I can't think. I'm having a brain fart, but I'm pretty sure. But I know those for sure because I done been in those situations. The military, construction, oil field, things like that. I've seen it happen. Truck driving. You have a bunch of truck drivers or whatever. I've seen it happen too. So a lot of these things take place. And a lot of it, be honest with you, it don't even get reported. It never makes it up to human resources or anybody like that. It don't even make it to another manager. Now, should it? Yes, it probably should, because if you would step up and say something this time, it wouldn't happen the next time. Or maybe this other person that really can't handle this stuff wouldn't have went off and committed suicide and killed themselves. Now, that supervisor got to look at, I was the last person to talk to that person. And now, they done went home and swallowed some pills or hung themselves or whatever the case is. I know I'm going extreme, but I'm going extreme for a reason because it happens. So they didn't kill themselves. But let's flip that. Let's say you the supervisor, you verbally abusing that person, and they go home and they go get the gun. They coming back to work. Guess what they about to do? They're looking to kill. Now, all this could have been prevented either way. Either them committing suicide or them going home and get a gun because they done had it with you that much that you done cursed them out and talked about them so much and hollering at them, that they come back to work and they're looking for blood. They just see red. So now they want to kill. And then usually these people, they not just go kill you. That's the sad part. They go take out 3, 4, 5 people. So now all these other people that got killed, plus the supervisor. Then sometimes, I know y'all see these stories, don't even kill the doggone person that's looking for it. Maybe they're not at work that day. They call it luck. I don't call it luck. It's a blessing that you wasn't at work because they didn't kill all these other people. Now these families got to deal with it. And why, when we get down and they investigate, it's because the supervisor was verbally abusive to them. You know what everybody would say? Why somebody didn't say something? Why somebody didn't say something? So what I'm telling you is, man, step up and say something. When you see these things going on at work, and I know people, social distancing right now with the COVID and they're working from home, but some people are back at work. And, when you get back, when some of this work from home is over, you going back to work, y'all know at work that these people be, verbally abusing and cursing and stuff. Man, step up and say something. Don't let these things go on. Hit them with a Bible verse. Ask them, what would Jesus do in this situation? Would Jesus curse these people out? It's not a probably not answer. It's a no. He's not. Would he holler at these people and talk to them crazy like that? And talk about their parents and, playing the dozens and all. No, he's not gonna do that. So just remember those things. Don't ever feel you can't get help from someone. Go talk to the other managers. Go talk to the other supervisor. Talk to a coworker. Let somebody know what's going on so somebody other than you knows. Go home, tell your wife. Go home, tell your husband. If you're the woman, tell a couple of people because things need to be. People need to know. And then another thing, like I always say, document. So document these things and let everybody know, hey, this is what's going on, and it's not right. It's not fair. It's not right. I'm here to work, do my job, and go home. I'm not here to get verbally abused. I'm not here to go home crying. I'm not here to be sad at work every day or high alert because here comes the supervisor. Let me do this, or I'm just all over the place because no, I'm not here to do all that. So if you see these things going on, man, please just step up and say something. Moving right along, take back control of a hostile work environment. 1 or 2 or 3 bad apples, we usually say it don't affect the whole bunch. Yes, it does. At work, it does, because if it's 2 or 3 bad apples or 2 or 3 bad people is what we're talking about. If they are driving people away, now we got a high turnover rate. So we wonder why, we're trying to get up to 100 employees. We get right up to 70, and then we lose 10 people. So we get back up to 75, we lose 20 people. Like, why we can't never get to the 100? So we got these 3 supervisors. They might be in the good old boy program. They might have been there since the start of the company. Or maybe they know somebody, whatever the case is. But they verbally abusive. They talking to people crazy. And that's why we got this high turn, because people just not gonna put up with that at the end of the day. Now, again, that's when you need to step up and tell somebody. And maybe you have told somebody and nothing has happened. Well, then you gotta do what you gotta do. You go ahead and find you another job and move on. So they're gonna stay with that high turnover rate. But at least you did your part of telling somebody, and you did your part of documenting. You told human resources, things of that nature. So what I don't want to happen, I don't want you to be at work every day sad, depressed, anxiety high, emotional, thinking about suicide, thinking about, doing something to them. It should never get to that point. Now, sadness, it happens. It does. A little slight depression, it happens too. Should it happen? No. But thinking about suicide, thinking about killing these people, that shouldn't happen. Should never get to that point. That's when we gotta. If the person before you would have told, guess what? You wouldn't have to deal with them. So think about it like that. So it might be your chance to say, let me say something. Okay. Another thing I want to leave with y'all is resources to deal with verbal abuse. Now, I mentioned suicide, I mentioned depression, things like that. It's people you can talk to. At work, they have psychiatrists that come in free of charge. You can call this 1-800 number, and by law, they can't tell your employer that because the employer is actually paying for this. So you can talk to a psychiatrist free of charge. You working there, you dealing with this verbally abusive supervisor, call that 1-800 number or whatever the number is. Let them know what's going on, and they'll advise you on ways to deal with these people. Hey, you can call, you can email me or get in touch with my website, and I'll deal with it that way. Once again, my website is, for y'all that don't know, it's www.faithbasedworkplace.com. So you can go in there. There's a contact thing on there. You contact, submit an email, with your name and everything, and I'll get with you on that way. Another thing you might have to do, you don't want to deal with a psychiatrist, or let's say you didn't deal with a psychiatrist. Let's say you didn't talk to me. We didn't have communication, and try to help you. Maybe we need to dial 911 because this person, especially they didn't touch you. The verbal abuse escalates to physical abuse at work. Okay, now we want to dial 911. We want to document, tell human resources, things of that nature. When you think about suicide, National Suicide Prevention Lifeline, their phone number is 1-800-273-TALK. That's a good number to probably save in your phone. I know people don't want to talk about things like that, but it happens. We see people commit suicide all the time. All the time. We blame it on different things. It might be PTSD. It might be this. It might be that. It might be something they're dealing with at home. It might be work. It could be a number of things. Whatever it just was a verbally abusive supervisor. That's what they were dealing with. So, and we got a way of preventing that. So, call that number. Another thing you can look up is the National Institute of Mental Health. Because this is all mental. The verbal abuse leads to mental, leads to depression, which is a form of mental. So let's make sure we're dealing with these things. Again, human resources, and then other managers. Man, look, I'm the reason why I'm doing these videos on YouTube is to get the word out about these different issues that happen at work, and people not talking about it, or people talk about it just in their little circles. That's not good enough. It's not good enough. The time is now to where we need to talk about this stuff and bring it to the forefront. And then use your human resources getting paid. They're not just there just to hire and fire people, or when you get promotion just to give you that extra money. No, they're there to do. The name isn't human resources. They're resources to everybody at work. So anything like this, verbal abuse, or things like that, you can think about committing suicide or whatever the case is. That's when you go to human resources. And you document and tell them, what happened, what's taking place, but like I said, your first line, go talk to the supervisor, let them know, you're not here. That way you can say, hey, I told him, 1, 2, 3 times, I told him, I don't like that. I don't like the way you talk to me, all the cursing, the hollering, things like that. I don't like that. So, you use human resources. Don't never let it get to suicide, people. Don't let it get that far. Don't let it get to where you sitting there in your room. I'm going to end my life. I'm going to take these pills. I'm going to cut my wrist. I'm going to shoot myself. I'm going to, whatever I'm going to do, because I don't want to deal with this. Supervisor is verbally abusive. It's a lot of different ways of dealing with this. God is the best way. And God always told us, don't be dumb. Don't be a fool. So you pray to him. I'm telling you, pray to him. But then you gotta move past that too, and then use your chain of resources, chain of command. Go to human resources. That don't work. You tell other supervisor and manager. Hopefully they can do something. The presidents that say they got open door policy. Okay, well let's see if it's really open. Let's go ahead. Let me go upstairs or send them an email and say I need to talk to you. Do it that way. So it's a bunch of different ways things you can do before you get to, I'm about to just quit this job, or I'm going to fight this person, or suicide, or I want to go to work and kill this person. Let's prevent any of this stuff from happening. Let's take the path of least resistance. So let's go talk to them first. Okay, let's talk to them first. Let's pull them to the side. Let's talk to them first. Hopefully that works. I say most people that will work. When you tell them, hey, I don't like this, that probably work. You said it don't work. Okay, let's go to human resources. Or you can tell, maybe you can try telling another manager first. And then other manager, they cool. That manager can talk to them. Now hopefully they fix it. If that don't fix it, now you done started the thing. Now document that, but like, okay, I done talked to him on this day. I told this other manager on this day, or you told his manager. You can go one step further, tell his manager or her manager. So that's step number 3. So again, did all that, it still ain't working. That's when you go to human resources. So now you got all this documentation. I done documented. I talked to him. I talked to another manager. I talked to his manager. Now I'm here in human resources. Now hopefully between those 3 or 4 things, hopefully it gets dealt with, and you can move on, have a good day at work, a good month at work, a good year at work. And you don't have to deal with this negativity at work that spews out. Once again, man, like I say, I love doing these videos. I love breaking down things. I love bringing in the Bible verses and different books because, you get to talk about things that I always wanted to talk about. Well, I'm going to say, I used to talk about, at work, which is a side thing, but it's like 2 or 3 people, maybe 4 people wouldn't know. But now I'm getting a message out, you're reaching, 10, 20, 30 people, 100 people, however many people watching the video. So, excuse me, getting all that stuff out there, it's like, wow, so more people are able to see it. And if 1, 2, 3, how many people can learn from this and be like, or relate to this situation, be like, I'm dealing with this right now. This video is for me. That's what it's all about. And hopefully you can learn from some of the other videos I already posted, and then learn from the videos I'm going to continue to post, because my whole vision is to get the word out there that people, with these videos, people can learn from it. And hopefully change their situation, fix their situation. And, it's awesome, especially, talking about God and stuff. And they can just get their life over to God. That's changing your situation right there. Think about it. You give your life to God. And I talked to a guy, matter of fact, I got to call that guy on LinkedIn. We talked a couple of weeks ago, used to be an atheist. And there's also a woman I talked to on LinkedIn too, used to be an atheist. And now they didn't give their life to God. So just think about, you deal with all this stuff, verbal abuse and all this stuff, or you was an atheist, or you dealing with depression or anxiety or thoughts of suicide, you turn your life over to God, all of a sudden you can see things a lot differently. You're looking at things differently. So, just say a quick prayer. Just repent about some things, talk to God, pray to him, and ask him, maybe he need to remove you out of this situation. Maybe this is not the job for you. So go to God and pray to him and say, hey, God, this is not where I'm supposed to be. I know I feel it in my spirit. I'm not supposed to be here. And it's the verbal abuse and it's everything else all the time. You're not supposed to be there. So pray that God take you out of the situation and put you in a better spot. But be prepared if God give you an answer that you're supposed to be here, my son or my daughter. You're supposed to be here because I want you to do this, this, and this. Maybe you're there at that job to get rid of that verbal abusive supervisor. That's your one time you got to step up and say something. And guess what? You get rid of that one bad apple. You didn't just change your life. You probably fixed a whole bunch of other people. Like, they might thank you for it, they might not, but hey, you did your part. So you just gotta look at it 2 different ways. So once again, man, this is Faith-Based Workplace. Hey, if you like the content, man, click the subscribe button, man. I upload every Wednesday. Sometimes, trying to upload on every Friday also. And man, I'm just happy to be doing these videos. So hey, the content is available for the videos I already put on there. Once you subscribe, you can see all those. Click the like button and then comment. We can talk back and forth. Comment and everything. And I'll leave my my website and everything, how to get in contact with me if you want to talk about some of these issues. We can do that too. Once again, God bless you and your family also.